All right, you want to know what it's actually like to be on this Linkpoon virtual amateur net?
The LVA net, yeah.
The LVA net,
All
right.
right.
Well,
buckle up.
we're going right into the recording of the second one ever.
Yeah, wow.
Led by Ray and 9KGC.
Okay.
It's not just about the tech.
Right.
It's a glimpse at a community forming.
Yeah.
From the U.S. to the UK.
Wow.
All excited about this new way to connect using a simple app on their phones and some cool radios.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what's really interesting here is we're not just reading reports.
Right.
We are experiencing it firsthand through this recording.
It's like time travel.
Exactly.
Dropping right into the middle of this digital ham radio gathering.
I love it.
So here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Right from the start. Around 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
As Ray kicks things off.
Yeah.
You hear this incredible mix of people checking in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Denny's at an election center.
Oh, wow. Talk about multitasking.
Ed's out driving for Uber.
Wow.
Ralph's on a bus.
It's amazing.
It's like a snapshot of everyday life.
Yeah.
But all connected through this virtual network.
So you immediately grasp the global reach of this technology.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper than just locations. You hear snippets of their lives, their excitement, even the background noise of their surroundings.
Right.
It adds this unexpected layer of human connection.
Right.
It's almost like you're right there with them.
It's really cool. And then let's unpack the tech a little bit.
Right.
You hear a lot of chatter about the radios themselves.
Right.
The Talkpod N58, the Enrico S200.
Oh, yeah.
Even a Hyro Yayu.
Interesting.
That gets some serious praise.
Okay.
Like they're sharing notes on the best tools for the job.
Yeah.
You can sense their enthusiasm
Evidently.
for being on the cutting edge of this technology.
Yeah. And what's particularly interesting is this recurring theme of software stability.
Right.
Remember, the Linkpoon app was still pretty new at this point.
Right.
And there were some initial hiccups.
Yeah.
But in this net, there's this sense of relief and even surprise at how much Talkpod, the company behind it all, has improved things based on user feedback.
It feels like a collaborative effort.
Absolutely.
With the community actively shaping the development of the software.
Yeah, it's great.
But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Right.
You also hear about those lingering challenges.
Yeah.
Audio dropouts, the app occasionally quitting. Even worries about interference from another radio app called Zello.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's where the reality check sets in.
Right.
It's a reminder that we are witnessing the early stages of something new with all of its kinks and uncertainties.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And the participants are right there on the front lines, troubleshooting and figuring things out together.
And amidst these technical discussions, you get these glimpses of something bigger emerging.
Okay.
Scott is actually giving away radios to encourage more people to join.
That's amazing.
There's even talk of setting up a dedicated LVA net for Europe and the UK.
Okay.
Wow.
So if we connect this back to the bigger picture, it suggests that this isn't just a passing fad.
Right.
There's a genuine desire to grow this community, to make it accessible, and to create a space where people can connect and share their passion for radio, regardless of location.
It's like witnessing the birth of a movement.
It is.
You can almost feel the energy and enthusiasm radiating from these early adopters.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but it also raises a question.
Okay.
What does this mean for the future of amateur radio?
Right.
Is this easier access, this global reach?
It's the new normal.
Right.
And what about the traditions? The reliance on physical radios?
Yeah.
The skills that have defined the hobby for so long?
That tension between tradition and innovation is at the heart of this whole phenomenon.
Yes.
And to really understand it, we need to delve deeper into the individual stories, the conversations, the shared experiences that make up this second LVA net.
Right.
That's where the real insights lie.
Exactly. So let's get into some of those individual check-ins.
Okay.
Because that's where you really start to see the human side of this technological marvel.
I agree. There's Peter, G0PPQ.
Okay.
He compares the Linkpoon software favorably to another platform called Simple PTT.
Interesting.
It shows that people are actively exploring different options.
Right.
And figuring out what works best for them.
So that comparison with other platforms is crucial.
Right.
It reminds us that the LVA net isn't operating in a vacuum.
Right.
It's part of a larger ecosystem of network radio technologies and communities, each with its own strengths and weaknesses.
It's like a vibrant marketplace of ideas and innovation.
Exactly.
And the LVA net is carving out its own unique space within that landscape.
It's great.
And then we hear from Ed, WV1SWL, who's in West Virginia and already dreaming of spring.
Aha, nice.
Followed by Graham from Scotland, who's planning a trip to visit his 91-year-old mother.
It's heartwarming to hear these personal anecdotes woven into the technical discussions.
It is.
It reminds us that behind the call signs and the radios are real people with lives, families, and experiences they want to share.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It adds a layer of warmth and humanity to the whole experience.
Absolutely.
Now get this, Jason, W4JMF from Florida checks in.
Okay.
And he's practically bursting with excitement about his new N58 radio.
Awesome.
He even mentions winning a lifetime membership to Simple PTT.
Wow.
And getting a free radio.
Talk about lucky.
Talk about lucky.
Jason's enthusiasm is infectious.
It is.
And it speaks to the generosity within this community. People are eager to share their knowledge, their resources, and their passion for radio.
It's cool.
It creates a positive feedback loop.
Yes.
That fuels the growth of the network.
It's like a chain reaction of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to witness.
It is.
Then we have Jeff, W4JPG, from Missouri, who's about to start a 10-hour work shift.
Oh, wow.
Talk about dedication.
That's commitment.
He even jokes about trying to convince his wife to use Linkpoon.
That's great.
Jeff's story highlights the practicality of this technology.
Absolutely.
It allows people to connect with others.
Yeah.
Even during busy workdays.
Right.
Without being tied to a physical location. It's like having a virtual ham shack in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
Now let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about the man behind the curtain, so to speak.
Right.
Ray, N9KGC, is the net control for this session.
Okay.
And his personality really shines through in the recording.
Oh, nice.
He's clearly passionate about this project.
Yeah.
And invested in its success.
What's interesting is that Ray downplays his own role, emphasizing the community-driven nature of the LVA net. Yeah. He points out that Talkpod could have created the Facebook group themselves, but it was the enthusiasts who really took ownership and made it thrive.
It's a classic example of grassroots organization.
It is.
People saw the potential of this technology.
Yeah.
And stepped up to build a community around it.
And that organic growth is a powerful force.
Yeah.
It suggests that the LVA net isn't just a top-down initiative.
Right.
It's a bottom-up movement fueled by passion, shared interests, and a desire to connect.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Throughout the net, Ray also reveals his genuine curiosity about the various radios people are using.
Right.
Whenever someone mentions a model he's not familiar with, he immediately jumps online to research it.
Wow.
He even gets excited about a budget-friendly radio called the Hyro Yayu because of its impressive specs.
Ray's enthusiasm for learning is contagious.
It is.
And it fosters a culture of shared knowledge.
And discovery within the community.
Yeah.
He's not just a facilitator.
Right.
He's an active participant.
Yes.
In the learning process.
It creates a sense of camaraderie.
It does.
And encourages people to experiment.
Yeah.
And share their findings.
Absolutely.
And I think this collaborative spirit is something we'll see even more of.
Okay.
As we dive into the general check-ins next.
I'm eager to hear what other insights and experiences these participants have to share.
Me too.
All right. Moving into the general check-ins.
Okay.
We hear from Scott, IRN 5489 again.
Yeah.
And he drops this wild story. About getting his food trailer stuck while moving it.
Oh, wow.
He even says there was no way he was going to miss this net.
Talk about dedication.
I know, right?
You really get a sense of how much this connection means to these folks.
Yeah.
It's not just a casual thing. They're prioritizing it, even amidst the chaos of everyday life.
And it really underscores how this technology fits seamlessly into people's lives.
Right.
Scott's dealing with a pretty stressful situation.
Yeah.
Yet he's still able to find a few minutes to connect with the group.
Right.
That says a lot about the accessibility and the appeal of the LVA net.
And we have Aaron, KC3ZUE.
Okay.
Who was having audio problems on the previous net.
Oh, great.
It sounds like he switched from a Sonam radio to an Enrico S200 for this session.
Okay.
And thankfully, the issue seems to be resolved.
This is a perfect example of the practical problem-solving aspect of the community.
Yeah.
They're not just chatting. They're actively helping each other overcome technical hurdles and sharing tips and tricks.
It's cool.
It's that collaborative spirit that makes the LVA net so unique.
It's like a hive mind of tech support.
Exactly.
All focused on making the experience better for everyone.
Yeah, I love that.
Speaking of tech,
yeah,
John, M0MLY, checks in with the Hyro Yayu radio.
Oh, okay.
The one that caught Ray's attention earlier.
Right.
He gives it a glowing review,
yeah,
praising its performance and recent updates.
And what makes the Hyro Yayu particularly interesting is that it's a budget-friendly option.
Right.
This means that people who might be hesitant to invest in expensive equipment can still participate in the LVA net.
Yeah.
It's all about breaking down those barriers to entry.
It's like they're democratizing access to network radio.
Absolutely.
Which aligns perfectly with the spirit of amateur radio in general.
I agree.
Then we have Gabe, KA5JKI, from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
He's clearly enjoying the radio talk.
Yeah.
And even asks John for more details about that Hyro Yayu.
Gabe's curiosity is infectious.
It is.
It shows how the LVA net is sparking interest and encouraging people to explore different options.
Yeah.
He even admits he probably doesn't need another radio.
Right.
But the allure of new technology is strong.
Oh, absolutely.
You've all been there, right?
It's that classic ham radio urge.
Yeah.
Always on the lookout for something new and shiny to play with. And then Terry, KCAGES, jumps in.
Okay.
He's the net logger for this session.
Uh-huh.
And it sounds like he's still getting used to the software.
This is another reminder that we're witnessing something in its infancy.
That's true.
They're figuring out the best tools and practices as they go along. Yeah. And there's a certain charm to that. It's like they're pioneers charting a new course in the world of network radio.
It's exciting to be along for the ride.
It is.
I noticed that Terry's using a W2 Pro.
Okay.
Same as Gabe and Ray. Seems to be a popular choice for the LVA net.
It's interesting to see those trends emerge.
Yeah.
It suggests that certain radios are gaining traction within the community, perhaps because of their features, their reliability, or their affordability.
Then we hear from John, KJ5FGL, who's joining from his cell phone.
Oh, wow.
Proving that you don't need fancy equipment to participate.
Absolutely.
It's all about the connection, not the gear.
This reinforces the idea that the LVA net is all about inclusivity. Yeah. You don't need a top-of-the-line radio or a dedicated setup to be part of this community.
Right.
All you need is the desire to connect.
And a smartphone, of course.
Aye, of course.
Now, Roy, a representative from Talkpod, makes another appearance.
All right.
He expresses his appreciation for the positive feedback about their devices and the LVA net in general.
What's striking here is Roy's genuine enthusiasm and his willingness to engage with the community.
It seems like he's really invested.
He is.
In the success of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even mentions launching a YouTube channel.
Oh, wow.
To help users troubleshoot issues.
That's cool.
It shows that Talkpod is committed to supporting this project.
Right.
And making it a success.
It's not just about selling radios.
Right.
It's about building a community.
Yeah.
And fostering a positive user experience.
Exactly.
And speaking of personal touches, Roy mentions being tired.
Oh.
Because mosquitoes kept him up all night.
Yeah, it's a small detail.
Yeah.
But it makes him relatable, right?
It does.
He's not just a corporate spokesperson. He's a real person.
Yeah.
Dealing with real-life situations.
Right.
Just like everyone else on the net.
It humanizes the whole experience.
It does.
It's like they're all just regular folks.
Yeah.
Who happen to be passionate about radio and connecting with others.
I love that.
And then we have Stu, WA2JNF.
Okay.
He's the one who first told Ray about this whole LVA thing back in July.
Oh, wow.
Stu has clearly been following the project closely.
Yeah.
And he's impressed by the software improvements.
Okay.
He even refers to the frequent device restarts in the early days as the old days.
Right.
Which shows just how quickly things are progressing.
It's remarkable how far they've come in such a short time. It speaks volumes about the rapid pace of development and the community's adaptability.
Stu also mentions a new radio hotspot device called the Shark RF M1K.
Cool.
That's generating a lot of buzz.
Okay.
It seems like the innovation never stops.
It's like the LVA net is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the future of network radio.
Yeah.
There's a whole world of possibilities out there, and this community is at the forefront of exploring them.
Now, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about a key theme that emerges during the net.
Right.
The relationship between LVA and traditional amateur radio practices.
Okay.
There's a sense that this technology is challenging some of the norms of the hobby, prompting conversations about what it means to be a ham radio operator in the digital age.
Absolutely.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It's sparking healthy debate and encouraging people to think critically about the future of their hobby.
For sure.
For example, Jeff, W4JPG, mentions that he's trying to convince his wife, who's also a ham, about using Linkpoon. He argues that it's more reliable than traditional methods, especially for local communication.
It's a pragmatic argument.
It is.
If the technology works better for certain purposes, why not embrace it?
Right.
But I can also understand the hesitation.
Yeah.
There's a certain romance to using physical radios, to relying on your own skills and equipment to make contact.
It's about the challenge, the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of making that connection, using traditional methods.
And some might worry that the ease of use and global reach of LVA could diminish the value of those hard-earned skills.
It's a valid concern.
It is.
But I think it's important to remember that technology is a tool.
Right.
And it's up to us how we use it.
Exactly.
We can choose to see LVA as a complement to traditional amateur radio, not a replacement. It can be a way to connect with more people, to experiment with new modes of communication, and to expand the horizons of the hobby.
And that's an exciting prospect.
It is.
It doesn't have to be an either situation. We can embrace both the old and the new and find ways to integrate them in a way that benefits the entire community.
Now, speaking of community, we can't forget about the role of Facebook in the LVA net's growth. Ray talks about the dedicated Facebook group he created, which now has nearly 600 members.
What's impressive is that the group is open to anyone interested in radio.
Oh, wow.
Not just licensed hams.
That's cool.
And they carefully screen new members to ensure a positive and supportive environment. It's a testament to their commitment to fostering a welcoming and inclusive community.
It shows that social media can be a powerful tool.
It can.
For connecting people. Especially in a hobby like amateur radio. Which has traditionally relied on face-to-face interactions. And on-air conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's a reminder that community can thrive. In both the digital and physical realm.
For sure.
It's all about finding those shared interests. And creating spaces where people can connect and support each other.
I agree.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground so far.
We have.
From individual check-ins and personal stories to the technical aspects of radios and software. We've even touched on the broader themes of community, tradition, and innovation. But there's still more to unpack. Let's delve into some of the technical challenges encountered during the net.
All right.
And see how the community is working together to find solutions.
I'm ready to hear about those troubleshooting adventures. And the lessons they're learning along the way. It's all part of the journey, right?
It is. So let's get into some of those technical hiccups that came up during the net. It wasn't all smooth sailing, was it?
Not exactly.
Remember Dave, KC2RCE? The retired engineer we heard from earlier. He had some audio trouble during the previous net. But this time, thankfully, things are working fine.
Good.
It's fascinating how he jumps right into problem-solving mode. Trying to diagnose the issue he had last time.
He's got that engineer's mindset. Always analyzing, troubleshooting.
And he even shares a story about dropping his N58 radio multiple times.
Oh, wow.
With no damage.
That's impressive.
Talk about a real-world durability test. It's reassuring to hear that these devices can withstand a bit of rough handling. That's one tough radio. But speaking of challenges, Dave also brings up a point that several others mentioned. The app randomly shutting down.
Oh, right.
It seemed like this was a recurring issue during the early days of the LVA net. And they're all trying to figure out what's causing it.
What's remarkable here is their openness about sharing these problems. They're not shying away from the negative aspects. They're actively discussing them. and trying to find solutions together.
That's cool.
It's a testament to their collaborative spirit and their commitment to improving the platform.
It's like they're beta testers.
Exactly.
Working alongside the developers to refine the technology.
It's great.
And that brings us back to a key takeaway from this deep dive into the second LVA net.
Okay.
It's a snapshot of a community.
Yeah.
In its formative stages, navigating this exciting, but sometimes bumpy road of innovation.
Exactly.
They're embracing the challenges, the uncertainties, and the learning process that comes with being early adopters of a new technology.
And it's that shared journey of troubleshooting and discovery that forge a strong sense of community.
It's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about the people.
Yeah.
Their shared passion and their willingness to work together to make it better.
I agree.
We've heard about their excitement.
Yeah.
Their technical hurdles.
Right.
Their global connections. And the genuine camaraderie that shines through in their conversations.
It's really inspiring.
It is.
It's a reminder that technology is simply a tool.
Yeah.
It's the human element.
Right.
The way we use it to connect, to learn, and to build something new together.
Right.
That truly matters.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Imagine yourself checking into the next LVA net.
Okay.
Sharing your own experiences.
Right.
And contributing to this evolving community.
It's exciting to think about.
What role will you play?
Yeah.
In shaping the future of amateur radio? Think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
This deep dive has given you a taste of what's possible.
It has.
Now it's your turn to explore, connect, and discover the exciting world of the LVA net.
That's a great way to end it.
Until next time.